The following is a production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Zakoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives. And welcome to another edition of the Xtra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and WEGLFM.com. Hello everybody, Jared Dillard, and joining me from wherever that may be is Alex Husting, Davis Carroll, and Jack Hart. Alex, we'll start with you first. I see that you moved out of your cell and you're in the yard now, so how you doing today?
I'm not in the yard, I'm in the common area. The yard would actually be outside, Jared.
Just answer the question.
What was the question? I interrupted you in the middle of it.
How are you doing today?
What else does he ask, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good. Sad that the Heat lost last night, but my week, no matter what, is always going to be great because Bill O'Brien is no longer the head coach of the Texans. So,
well, that's bad news for me because I needed the Texans to just stay bad. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. Davis, how about you? How are you doing this fine morning?
I'm a little sore. Took a few wipeouts yesterday, but I'm good. Feeling good.
Do you want to elaborate on that, or are we just going to leave it at that?
I was skating around in the parking deck, and I took a few wipeouts. Let's leave it at that.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Jack, how you doing this fine morning?
Doing well, Jared. It is indeed hump day. Just a few more days to get through the week, and it's Arkansas Hate Week, of course. Although it may be storming at the game this weekend, so hopefully the weather holds off just long enough for Auburn to beat Arkansas. But we'll see what happens as another eventful week in sports rolls on here in the month of October.
Yeah, Wednesday's here, but it's just another day, I guess. And while news is coming in about, Auburn and Arkansas and Auburn football news in general has just been depressing, I guess. It's hard to talk about. But on the flip side of it, they do have the game against Arkansas. Hurricane Delta, as we are now in the, alpha beta phase of hurricanes now. Hurricane Delta is in the Gulf Coast and will be making landfall soon around Thursday, Friday. And we'll see how it affects the game on Saturday that I know I'll be at because I have to. But we'll see what happens. It's giving me Southern Miss vibes. If anybody remembers Southern Miss Homecoming from a couple years ago, or that last year, I can't remember actually anymore. I think it was 2 years ago. That's what I'm trying to get now. It's supposed to rain Friday through Sunday, I believe, with Hurricane Delta coming through. But on today's show, we're opening up with the NBA Finals Game 4 as the Lakers and Heat square off, heading over to the NBA playoffs, NFL news, and then college football. But before we begin with today's show, one thing that I want to bring up and I feel like is worthy of leading off today's show because they never get enough credit for what happens, but they wrapped up their season last night, and that was the Seattle Storm defeating the Las Vegas Aces 92-59 to sweep the WNBA Finals in what was an interesting season for the WNBA, as Breanna Stewart led them to their second title in 3 years, and she, I believe, was named the MVP of the finals. So congratulations to the Seattle Storm doing what the Supersonics couldn't do, is winning championships.
Not to mention, it was actually their fourth championship in total, tied for the most of any team in WNBA history.
There you go. So shout out to WNBA, the Seattle Storm, and the Las Vegas Aces, who's been a program for how many years now? This is what, their second, third year? It's been less than 5.
They're about the same as the hockey team in Vegas.
Yeah, so
Time around.
there you go. All we need now is the baseball team in Vegas, and we got the Big Four.
Yeah, dude.
Well, wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll call it. The
Well,
NBA doesn't need to move to Vegas. They
I
got
mean,
the
yeah,
aces.
that's one way of viewing it.
But let's go ahead and start with NBA Finals Game 4. Lakers and Heat squaring off. And what was a very competitive game from start to finish. But it was the Los Angeles Lakers pulling out the big win against the Miami Heat. LeBron James coming to life in the second half and pretty much putting the game away. The Lakers won 102-96 over the Miami Heat. LeBron James led the way, 28 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 10 of 12 from the line, while Jimmy Butler led with 22 points for the Miami Heat. How 3-1 now, right? The series is on the brink. The Heat really needed this game, and it looked like for a second they might be able to steal it, especially with Adebayo being back as well. But unfortunately, the Heat fall, and now down 3-1. I mean, how's it looking for the Heat?
You know, it looks like Lakers in 5 is still a viable option, unless I think it's still possible the Heat pull out this game
5.
5 right here. Okay, I was about to say
Yeah.
to push it to 6 at least. I'm rooting for the Lakers, but without Goran Dragic and with Bam still slightly injured, it seems like I'm not sure if they can do it.
You're rooting for the Heat.
I'm rooting for the Heat, but they're not going to win. Is what I'm
Said you
saying.
were rooting for the Lakers, which is why I asked.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, deep down inside, he's rooting for the Lakers.
Yeah, of course. I saw.
Am I though? Am I?
Yes.
I am.
I mean, the Heat are just simply outmatched at this point. I mean, they can play their best games, and it just seemingly won't be enough. I also saw somebody who said, "quote The NBA is rigged. The Lakers are going to win every single series 4-1 because Kobe was 41 years old." And I'm just like,
I don't think that's how that works.
Hey, I got some breaking news for you, Alex.
oh,
It's not NBA related, so we can wait though, Jared. I'm sorry.
No, if it's breaking news, it's breaking news, Davis. Spill
Kyle
it.
Allen is starting on Sunday
For who?
Whoa! What?
Wait, for who? Wait, what
for
team?
the
is he on?
Washington football team.
No. That
Alex, the chicken has come home to roost.
It's from Catch the Blitz, Alex. It's real.
Panther fans are just laughing in their PJs right now.
Allentown has a new home.
Ron Rivera is going to be the death of me.
I couldn't remember what team he was on, and then I remembered he went to Washington.
Now look, I mean, if I can go on a whole tangent about this right now, explaining why it's a bad idea, but we can wait if we want to do the NBA first.
We're gonna wait until we hit the NFL news because it just got juicy. And
yeah.
oh man, this is funny. Now I didn't have Washington making fun of Washington on the docket, but now I do. So
Shut up, Jared.
here we go. NBA Finals Game 4. I mean, yeah, Heat backs against the wall now. LeBron, AD had that injury scare when he went down for a couple of seconds in the game. But other than that, hey, look, I just got it too. Kyle Allen's the new starter.
It's for real, Alex.
It's
No,
happening.
I know it's true because I saw my one of the guys I follow who's in DC and covers the team he posted, so I know, but we'll get to it later.
But NBA Finals Game 4, Jack, kind of, what's your reactions from Game 4 of the NBA Finals?
It is very, very hard to come back from a 3-1 lead in the NBA, especially in the finals. I think it's 34-1 teams coming back from a 3-1 down. So, especially with a team as busted up as the Heat is, we saw last night had a turning point in the game, frankly, and with Bam coming back for the Heat, it really seemed like if it was do or die time at a certain moment last night, and unfortunately the Heat just couldn't capitalize, and it looks like they've dug themselves a hole that they're just not going to be able to escape from because they have to play flawless basketball from here on out.
Yeah, it's tough because as much as you want this Heat team to come back from 3-1, right? That would be crazy if they did. I mean, it's against LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I mean, you may be able to get one game on them. You may be able to get two, but to win 3 straight against them,
Yeah.
I don't know. There had to be some weird dominoes to fall in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't want to get too much into what this means. I don't want to say the series is over right now. But I was kind of thinking about the future and kind of like what does this mean for this Heat team? Because to be fair, this Heat team is very young. I mean, obviously you got Tyler Hero, who is playing at an astounding level for his age, and you have all these young guys on the Heat, and the Heat have a nice cap situation in the next coming years. So I don't want to get into the future what this means for the Heat until it's all said and done, because I know if you ask Jimmy Butler about it right now, he's gonna say we're still in the finals right now. I'm not thinking about the future right now. I'm thinking about now. But do the Lakers win on Friday? I guess is the question. I hope they don't personally, because I'll be on the road Friday, so I'll be able to watch. So me being envious, I want to watch them win. But Lakers in 5, is that what's happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Seems like it.
What needs to happen? What do the Heat need to do to win Game 5? Just Game 5 in general. Forget the series
Get
right
Goran
now.
Dragic back.
No, that's not even their biggest concern to
I
me.
think if he was playing last night, that would have been the difference.
Possibly, but I would say with Game 5 back, the reason I don't think they need Dragic back is because there's the whole idea that somebody who plays hurt is more of a liability than you know.
Well, I'm saying if he was healthy, I'm not saying him to come back hurt.
I mean, I'm saying he's not. I don't think he's going to be fully healthy anytime during this series. So him playing on the floor will just be him playing injured, and I really do think he'd be a liability personally. I mean, in reality, what they need to do is they need to just do what they did in Game 3 again, essentially, because they got AD in foul trouble very early, which worked, and Jimmy Butler basically took over and was able to have an incredible scoring performance. That's what they're going to need to happen again, and the likelihood of it happening is that. So, also, since we're on the extra point, just doing essentially a series that's an open and shut case, because I think we all know the Lakers are going to win in 5. Will we turn to the debate on who should win the Finals MVP? I mean, I don't want to, but it's what everybody's talking about in this series. So
I mean, who should win it or who is going to win it? Because those are two different answers.
that's true, because LeBron's going to win it no matter what. But I mean,
I don't know, man. I feel like they're kind of pushing AD right now.
no, LeBron's going to win it. I mean,
'Cause
no, I think
if,
there's a group of people that will vote for AD, but I think the majority will vote for LeBron just because.
cause
That's
if we're talking about who is going to win it, it's LeBron. Who should win it? Probably more AD, but honestly, I don't think those two guys really care about who gets MVP. They just want the ring. They just want the ring.
No, yeah, I agree. They don't care. I'm just saying that that's what everybody has been talking about up until this point.
I will say the
And
Lake
you-
the Lakers are a 7.5 point favorite in Game 5. So,
yeah.
Alex, are you still playing that video game?
I mean, I was playing a player too.
Because I can hear it.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know who was talking to me. Hope you lose.
Jared said the voices are back.
Wait a
Yeah, I was
minute.
about to say.
Hold on. How'd you hear it? The game is on mute. That wasn't me.
I'm hearing oh god, the voices are back.
Davis.
I'm hearing something.
It's Davis. I've been seeing him look down his controller. You really gonna pretend to be on the high horse, Davis?
I started to update my thing, and it's playing sounds to my controller.
Okay, that's what I heard. I just
It won't stop. It won't stop. It just keeps playing sounds.
Well, you need to. I don't know.
I don't know how to turn it off.
You made me think that my psychosis came back.
I'm trying to update my PlayStation, man.
But that's the NBA in a nutshell. Game 5 is on Friday. At let's see, what time is it? It'll be at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. So another late game.
Yeah.
If the Heat do pull that out, Game 6 will be on Sunday, which I think will just line up perfectly with the NFL.
Which may not be such a good thing after what happened on Monday.
Talking about for the NFL or NBA?
I mean, for the NBA, talking about the fact that Nick Mullins and the 49ers doubled the viewership that the finals got.
Well, I mean, when you hear Nick Mullins, you turn on, you switch the channel. At least I did.
I mean, you switch it, then you saw that interception, you switch it right back, right?
I mean, no, I mean, but to be fair, Monday Night Football, even I watched Monday Night Football over the finals, and it's only because, like, it seems like this finals is a wash, I guess.
Yeah,
Like, it just seems like LeBron's gonna win, and that's it.
indeed. Not very fun, I suppose.
Who am I to fight this machine that is LeBron James winning the NBA Finals?
I suppose that's a good point.
But anything else with the NBA before we head on to Major League Baseball?
Not much.
All right, let's head over to the MLB as the divisional series kicked up a notch, and let's start with the first game. Let's go Astros Athletics because I don't think I'll be able to handle the Astros if they win in a sweep. I can't. I can't do this.
Man.
I really can't. I'd 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 rather Alabama win a national championship than Houston getting back to the World Series.
I don't think they're going to get back. I really don't. But I do think, as it stands right now, they're going to beat the A's. I mean,
Like for the life of me, I can't do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see them taking down the A's here pretty soon, but judging from what I've seen out of the two games New York and Tampa have played, I do not see Houston taking them down in a 5-game series. Although I have been wrong about the Astros twice so far. Maybe I just don't know enough about the Astros, but it seems like they're somehow pulling this out when everyone is picked against them. Maybe they're using that as motivation. Maybe it's an intangible that you can't put a quantitative value on. But
maybe they found another secret way to win games.
blink if you missed it. But Houston's up 2-0 on the Athletics after winning a series that I think no one picked them to win initially against the Twins in a sweep.
Yeah.
Me and Jared did actually. So
Oh, my.
Yeah, we did. I will say that out of all the respondents on the Xtra Point Gauntlet, which Jack, you still need to fill out.
I'll get to it.
Only 2 in 5 picked the Astros.
Wait.
What?
How's Jack going to fill it out now since half the series had begun?
I know what I would have picked.
Yeah, he knows what he would have picked.
So when you go and do it, you're going to pick the A's, correct?
We'll see. Depends on who wins the series.
Yeah. So
Wait a minute.
so only 2 people picked the Astros. One of them in 4 games. One of them in 5 games.
Who's that?
I'm not gonna give that away.
Yeah, doctor-patient confidentiality, Alex.
Yeah.
Jared, was I
on.
one of them? Because I can't remember who I picked.
I don't remember who I picked. Well, no, I picked the A's. That's right, because I hate the Astros. But I'm not.
I think I might
that
have picked
detail.
the Astros.
I just know that this group does not think highly of the Astros as well. But this team, who's already come out and said that don't doubt us. You know what I'm saying? Is like I can't stand them. They're like UCF level right now. That's where they're getting at. I want to punch him in the face.
But that's not necessarily. I mean, these are that
The
you can't-
defending champions saying don't doubt us.
Well, yeah, but the difference is, is like the Astros are like, hey,
The difference is UCF. At least they claimed it without cheating.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like, and then Carlos Correa and the Astros believe that this run is proof of something, but it's proof of nothing other than the fact that everybody knew they were a good baseball team beforehand. Nobody was denying that when they won. Nobody was denying that when the cheating came out either. It was just the fact that,
Cheated.
yeah, it's like that. But like they're acting like this is some proof of not innocence, but proof of we didn't need to cheat. I'm like, okay, then why did you?
They think that for some odd reason, them sweeping the Twins was some sign of divine intervention, right? That washed them of their sins of cheating in God's game of baseball, and I say nay.
Jared says nay.
Jared
What I
says
say
no.
is word. Okay, it's gospel.
It's gospel.
And I don't care what the Astros do against the Twins. I don't care if they sweep the A's today, and Lord help me if they get past the Yankees or the Rays, for that matter. And God help all of us if they get to the Dodgers. If the Dodgers get to the World Series. Because I don't know if the United States can handle that.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's been a crazy playoff so far. I'll give them that. A lot of upsets.
It's
I
been
mean, if you
entertaining. It's been entertaining.
give the Astros credit, they've contributed to the eventfulness of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're the guy that everybody hates.
Jared, I think you just hate them a lot, especially because you're
I
afraid of
I probably have an unnatural hate for the Astros, just like I
Jared.
do, just like I do the Rays.
You're getting ahead of yourself. You're like, oh man, I think you just hate the Astros because you're facing the inevitability that if the Yankees somehow beat the Rays, which
What
I
do you
say,
mean somehow?
I mean somehow.
Are you
Um,
ignoring that they won Game 1? Like I know what happened last night in Game 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the Yankees are some big underdog. It's like, wow, how did the New York Yankees of all teams win against the Rays? That's not how this is
I know
going.
it was a joke. I'm saying that you're just afraid of the inevitability that if the Yankees do play the Astros will win, and then your entire world will come crashing down.
No, I wouldn't be that upset. I'd be more upset about the Rays beating the Yankees than the Astros beating the Yankees. I'll tell you that right now.
That
I
doesn't.
have to deal with a lot more blowback if the Rays win than the Astros win. I want you to know that right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Not only did the Astros beat the Athletics yesterday, but the Braves put up a nice 9 runs on the Marlins in their Game 1 victory. As the Braves came in clutch late in the 7th inning with a couple of homers, and Game 1 goes to the Bravos. And now the Braves. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? But
Please no.
the Braves are sniffing uh, a Game 2 victory and putting the Marlins on the brink as the Braves try to reach a place that they haven't reached in a decently long time.
And the Marlins have never reached, which is going home from a playoff series empty-handed.
I no, I just want to deviate. I just want to deviate for a second. That Alex Smith is the backup quarterback for Washington this weekend, which means Dwayne Haskins not only got benched, that dude got thrown off the cliff in Washington.
Now that
You got thrown off the whiteboard.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Jared, where did you see that?
Bleacher Report as told by the NFL Network. So go to NFL Network's Twitter account; they probably have it.
Yeah, I just got the alert too.
Dang, Dwayne Haskins. They didn't throw him in the garbage. They threw him almost to the practice squad.
They wheeled him to the street, Jared.
They locked him out. They locked him out of the practice facility.
Oh
Bring it up.
no!
Want me to start talking
Hey.
about it, or you want me to still wait?
Maybe
No.
they'll shut off his key card like John Gruden
They should.
or Jay Gruden.
We're gonna wait until we get to to Washington snafu that's happening. That's
All right.
that's good stuff right there. Fact that-
Your Yankees Rays game that was an interesting pitching game because you had both that game that seemingly took 5 hours. I think it got up there in terms of length, which is just what we're looking at with these. I think the first time we've ever seen this in postseason history, where it's a 5-game series where you could play on 5 consecutive days. So, and the Yankees and Rays are looking like they're heading right towards that, which makes an interesting decision for managers of both of these teams because these are teams with prolific bullpens having to manage a must-win game every night for 5 straight days and how to manage the bullpen in that situation. So you saw both teams go into their pen pretty early last night. I believe before the 5th inning, both starters were pulled. I think the Rays even tried to do an opener situation because of the number of handedness on the Yankees roster. So that seemed to work out as the Yankees offense was pretty much shut down for as much as you can shut down the Bronx Bombers was shut down for a majority of the game until the Yankees made it interesting in the 9th inning. They brought the winning run to the plate in the top of the 9th, but the Rays were able to get out of the jam and escape with a win 7-5. So that series is now tied 1-1. Blake Snell continues to be a force on the Rays bump. I think they've won 10 straight games now that he started. Not all decisions for Blake Snell, but he seems to give the confidence to the team. Something that was mentioned on the broadcast last night as well is that when you have an excellent closer like the Yankees do, and some other teams come to mind with just lights out closers, you're playing an 8 inning game because your closer is so automatic. But with the Rays, because their bullpen has been so prolific, um, their motto being that they have a whole stable of guys that can throw 98. They have a whole bullpen of prolific pitching that really cuts the game down to a 6 inning game. Whereas the Rays don't lose a whole lot of games that they're winning after six just because the bullpen has been so lights out. That was kind of disproven last night as the Yankees got a few men on and made it interesting in the ninth. But I think it holds true with both of these teams having to go into their pen super early. And I think this series is just going to be a matter of who gets gassed first.
Yeah, starters for tonight's game between the Yankees and the Rays. Charlie Morton taking the bump for the Rays, and Masahiro Tanaka taking it for the Yankees. That being said, both of these guys in the last time out did not do great. They gave up a couple of earned runs. They only got through, I believe both of them got the 5 innings each in their last outing. Oh, no, Tanaka got the 4 in his last outing. So both these guys may not last very long if we're going based off their last start. So you might see another bullpen-like performance out of both of these teams to try to get that 2-1 advantage because the winner, Kazuntai, the winner.
Sorry.
I didn't know what that was. I thought he swallowed his mic for a second.
Ugh.
The winner of tonight's game probably wins the series. If I'm being quite honest, between these two teams. Okay, it's a coin flip every night. Yankees are favored in Vegas, but I feel like that's kind of wrong. I feel like the Rays should be favored, but that's neither here nor there. Um,
Vegas.
it's Vegas. On top of that, the Dodgers and the Padres squared off in a late game last night. Dodgers winning 5-1 after the Padres made some unforced errors, especially when I saw a throw over to first that got past the first baseman and brought home a couple of runs for the Dodgers. And after that, it kind of just felt like it fell apart for the Dodgers or for the Padres, especially after
Yeah, Padres
Clevenger.
Ben really didn't have it last night.
Yeah, especially after Clevenger left after what, like 23 pitches,
Right.
because it just, I guess he just wasn't feeling right. Um, so a tough loss for for the Padres, not only because of the game, but because one of their aces. I mean, we don't know if we're going to see him again this series. Hopefully, he gets better. Hopefully, it was just precaution, but it just seemed like the injury bug, just at least from the pitching staff perspective, has caught to the Padres, and they're going to need their offense to come alive, like they did against the Cardinals, in order to get out of this series against a really good Dodgers team. Any thoughts on San Diego and LA?
It's going to be hard to stop the Dodgers. They're an explosive team. They can explode for a lot of runs very quickly, and it's something you almost have to pitch a perfect game to get around them or score 8 runs. So while San Diego looked really good in the first half of that game, it looked like they got their cage rattled by the Dodgers when I think they had 3 straight hits to the outfield, 2 maybe dropping for hits to bring in 3 runs in the later stages of the game. So I don't know how much I trust the Padres as a very inexperienced team here in the playoffs to close this out with the Dodgers, especially now already in a hole, and the Dodgers, I think, reaching the championship series in 3 of the last 4 seasons.
Especially when tonight's pitchers for Padres, undecided, Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. So talk about having to go through the gauntlet right now.
Yeah, if the Padres pull the benefit of playoff Kershaw, we shall see. But it's going to be interesting to see how Kershaw performs tonight.
All 4 games or all 4 series will be played today. First one up, 108 Central, 208 Eastern, Braves Marlins, which was the Braves game on MLB Network yesterday as well.
Ooh, I don't know.
because it's on MLB Network today, and I find that really weird. Like
Right.
nobody but MLB Network could pick that game up
Yeah, they're usually on TBS or something.
because the Astros Athletics game is on TBS. I'm just wondering why the Braves got relegated to MLB Network. I know there's probably like some kind of contractual obligation here or there, and maybe ESPN couldn't pick it up, or maybe Fox Sports One couldn't pick it up, or whatever it may be. But I just feel that's kind of disrespectful to both the Braves and the Marlins that they got relegated to MLB Network. I have no idea if I'll be able to watch that game. I have no idea if it's on YouTube TV. I assume it is, but I don't even know. Um, about an hour and a half later, Athletics and Astros play. Houston's favored in their own game. Braves are favored in their game as well. Then at 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central, the Rays and the Yankees square off. Yankees favored in their game. And then at 9:08 Eastern, 8:08 Central, it is the Padres and the Dodgers. Currently, there is no line on that game via ESPN. So stick around for baseball because it's going to be a lot of fun in today's series, and most likely you'll see you'll see one series clinched probably because I just do not believe in the A's at this point. Now, okay, here we go. NFL news.
Yeah, Alex.
Whoa. We have to talk about the COVID test first because that is the more pressing matter, right?
Not more pressing for me.
Oh, be quiet. Washington's gonna be bad anyway.
I'm kidding. I know.
Stephen Gilmore has tested positive for Stephon Gilmore, Stephen Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore, Stephen Curry. Gilmore.
Wait.
What?
That didn't even make any sense.
Gilmore has tested positive for COVID-19 for the Patriots after playing in Monday's game against the Chiefs. I assume the Chiefs are probably highly aware of what's going on and they're going to get tested. But the Patriots moving a third player to the COVID list along with Cam Newton and another player on their defense. And, well, you can only imagine that, yes, the Patriots have canceled practices for today. But you can only imagine that this can't end well for their weekend game coming up. As well, the Titans, who have two more positive cases on their team. We don't know how many more times they're going to pop up during the week, but it's not a good sign for either team going into next week.
Yeah, definitely not.
What are I guess, we all kind of thought about it, right? When the Patriots, when Cam Newton popped up on the test, and it was, well, what happens if they play this game and they come back and some Patriots players are positive, and then the Chiefs caught it? There's no telling about whether the Chiefs caught it from the Patriots game or Jordan Ta'amu, right? Because it happened over there as well. But, what happens if another team played another team that happens to be your Super Bowl favorites and they get infected and now they can't play for 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, right now there's a picture circulating on Twitter of Stephon Gilmore and Patrick Mahomes after the game, just talking it over very, very close to each other, as in, like, each of their faces roughly 8 inches away from each other. So
that's nice.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, it really, when it comes down to it, it seems as if the NFL was like convinced in doing. They put this game on without Cam got it and Jordan Ta'amu got it. That's a player on each team, and they're like, "Yep, we're gonna do it." And Goodell, even a few days ago, said, "Let me see if I can go find the exact quote." But in essence, he said that their protocols do a great job at like stopping the COVID spread. Let me see where. I can't find the exact quote right now.
I will say that the Patriots play the Broncos Sunday afternoon, while the Titans play the Bills at your usual noon Central kickoff. Both those teams are slated to play. Those are the two teams right now that are currently probably in the worst position possible. It seems that the Vikings are in the clear at this point. They haven't had any positive tests, and we'll see what happens with the Chiefs in the next coming days. But for right now, there are at least two teams where I believe the NFL is going to keep a close eye on, and be prepared that you might see another postponement. We may get 2 Monday Night Football games again, or
I mean, after what's happening here, I doubt I think they're going to be more, lenient in postponing stuff. Goodell 2 days ago said, our protocols have been shown to stop the spread of the virus when and where it inevitably appears. Well, I hate to say that he's wrong, but I mean, he is, clearly. But I mean, I think in reality, we were all being a bit too hopeful with the idea that the NFL actually handled any of this well. I mean, let's face facts. The NFL has not handled anything well in the last 20 years. So the idea that they would
hey, when the Patriots do something that may look wrong, they hand down those fines.
Oh, yeah, but even that's not handled well. Don't get me wrong. They throw fines at it, but they're like, all right, how many fines can we throw at this till it, repairs itself? And that doesn't even make any sense anyway. I mean, I think we were all a little too hopeful that the NFL would actually have success because, one, I mean, again, the way that it works, you can't completely stop the spread of the virus anyway. This is not like, oh, the NFL's ineptitude, truly. I mean, it's a virus that is going to be very difficult to stop in a league like the NFL. That, make no mistake about it. But on the reverse also, I mean, it is Roger Goodell. So,
Pitchforks out. We'll get them. But, yeah. All right, let's get to the good news. Washington quarterback situation.
All right.
Dwayne Haskins thrown off a cliff. Kyle Allen inserted in. Alex Smith, the backup. From a Washington fan perspective, Alex, I want first reactions.
I'll break it down. Okay, so first of all, I still haven't seen the Alex Smith backup thing, which honestly, the reason I don't believe that is because he's been cleared for contact. I put that in the biggest air quotes possible because nobody really believes that he's going to play. Davis?
From Bleacher Report, veteran QB will back up Kyle Allen in Week 5 after Washington benches Dwayne Haskins for NFL Network. Alex Smith to be Washington's QB.
I'm just saying that the insiders in DC have not posted anything about that yet.
What about good old Tom? Wait, hold up.
Not only is Dwayne Haskins not starting for the Washington football team on Sunday, he's not even number 2. Alex Smith will back up Kyle Allen.
All right.
It's true, Alex. Accept it.
It's true. He has a check mark, Alex. It's over.
I like Alex Smith. I have no problem with it. I just didn't really see the plausibility of that. But all right, that's fine. So now Haskins had one of the worst games of his career.
There's a lot of LOLs in the comments, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, of course. So Haskins had one of the worst games of his career against the Browns 2 weeks ago. And then the short leash stuff comes out, and the whole story is that, he has a very short leash on the mistakes he can make. So they go and they play the Ravens, who are one of the best teams and one of the best defenses in the NFL. Now, looking from a numbers perspective, Haskins did good. It was his first ever 300-yard game. He had no interceptions. From numbers specifically, it looked decent. But if you watch the game, it was a lot of checkdowns, which personally, it looked like it was the offensive coordinator calling the plays rather than Haskins just specifically doing checkdowns. But that, again, is up for debate because for some reason Rivera brought his failure of an offensive coordinator from the Panthers with him. Doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, so there was that. There were a lot of he took a lot of very bad sacks, as I think I just mentioned. But there were a lot. And again, you can't do that right now because the offensive line is so bad. You don't have time for that. You've got to be prepared to throw it away quickly. He messed up on that a bunch. But again, 31-17 against the Ravens. This team has one good wide receiver. Their best tight end is a former quarterback. They have no offensive line.
Heck yeah.
And their best running backs are a former wide receiver and Peyton Barber. So that is an important factor to hold to it because, again, Haskins is on the least talented offense in the NFL. You could say he contributes to that, Davis, but
he does because he's trash.
Simple fact that this offense, top to bottom, is the worst offense in the NFL.
And he's part of that. He doesn't elevate it any. He's also trash. Put him on a good team, he'd still be trash.
I don't know.
There's a lot of. He's third string.
Hey, Davis, shut up. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying,
as far as the offense goes, you still have the Jets and Broncos, scrapping for first place of worst offenses. So,
but even the Broncos have something. They've got Philip Lindsay, I think, still maybe, and
that should tell you enough.
They have Jerry Jeudy. They also have the tight end from Iowa, Fant. That is more talent on the offense than Washington has, bar none.
Fair. What about
You
the
look at Daniel
Jets?
Jones, for example. Far more talent than Washington has to Dwayne Haskins with. But anyway,
What
And the
about the
Jets?
Jets?
the Jets, the Jets are.
Don't you
Jets,
bring Le'Veon Bell because he is not.
no, the
Yeah.
Jets are bad. They are. They are. I'm not going to pretend. Again, the Jets and Washington have the two least talented offense. I'll say that. Yeah. Now you reminded me of the Jets. Yeah. I
And
would say
Sam
that.
Darnold played better than Dwayne Haskins.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, Davis. And over the next 4 weeks, Washington plays teams that have a combined record of 4-12. They are in the worst division in football, and in reality, if they can win these games, they will be in a position to make the playoffs, which is ridiculous, but they will, simply because of the division they're in. That's just the simple facts of the situation as it is. So you can say the year's over and spend time trying to build with Dwayne Haskins, or you can try a different thing to try and win a football game, and that's what they're doing.
I need to look up when Kyle Allen potentially plays the Panthers.
They don't play
So,
this.
yeah, I don't think they play. So yeah,
Not this week. I know the Falcons play the Panthers this week.
I always checking in on the SB Nation blogs because I feel like that really puts you on put your finger on the pulse of what's going on in these teams.
Dang, they play December 27th.
They do play again?
Yeah.
Oh, they have it right. They have it right here on my schedule. Yeah.
December,
yes.
December 27th. Homecoming. Here we go.
At the football team.
Football team.
Times. So this will be interesting.
So
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
what I'm reading from this Washington blog is that you don't really come back to Haskins as the guy. You're officially in the QB market for 2021.
Yeah.
Is that an overreaction?
No. He's about to get Josh Rosen.
I mean,
Say it with me,
look,
guys. He's a bum.
He's a bum, bro.
He's
And
a
I like
bum.
Haskins too. That's the sad
I
part.
do too, but he's a bum.
Like if he was
I
in
mean,
any
okay.
if he was in any other system, right? He'd probably be fine. But
No, I don't
Washington-
think so.
Wait,
I think he'd
you
still be a
just
bum.
said. Oh, that was Davis. Okay.
Yeah, no, Davis is the one that is convinced he's the worst quarterback on the face of the planet. Davis
Yeah,
is
we-
also convinced-
I made a ranking of quarterbacks with my friends, and he is tied for last with Daniel Jones. So
Like if you put Dwayne Haskins with the same kind of offensive weapons and situation as guys like
Daniel Jones. I mean, honestly.
okay, he might get killed over there. But if you
No, I mean,
if you would have taken Dwayne Haskins and put him in Dallas, or you put him in Indianapolis, or you put him in, I think it would do relatively better than what the Eagles have right now. I mean, the Eagles are kind of like borderline right now. You put him in Philly, I think he'd be decent enough to where he could beat Nick Mullins.
yeah,
But-
if all the plays they called were checkdowns, he'd do fine.
Here's the issue.
He has to throw more than 5 yards down. He would miss his throw,
Davis-
and then when he tries to scramble, he would get freaking destroyed because he can't run.
Davis, here's your simple issue is that you don't actually watch any of the games.
I do, Alex. I do watch him. I
on
watch how
YouTube.
bad he is.
And you don't pay attention to the fact that, again, I cannot put this as clearly as I can. Again, this is the worst top to bottom talent offense on the planet.
That doesn't just because his wide receivers are bad doesn't stop him from throwing good passes. And even then, he throws crappy passes day after day. And then when he has a good pocket, he can't make a pass. When he scrambles, he can't scramble. He can't do anything. All he does is wear his little headband.
Dang.
He can barely even throw a freaking check down.
What did Dwayne Haskins do to you, Davis?
He's just not good. And you defending him so vehemently makes me so aggravated.
I don't defend him so. I'm just patient, is all. Again, I think it's important to mention how bad some quarterbacks have been in the
You're
past.
patient. Did you just say you're patient?
Yes,
That is the biggest load of crock I've ever heard.
Croc. Wow.
I've watched Auburn football games with you. I've talked to you about Auburn football. You are not patient.
I've been patient with them enough. That's the point. I mean, okay. Look, honestly,
You just
if they're
can't
the
accept
la-
he's bad. You just can't accept that was a bad draft pick and that you wasted your pick on Dwayne Haskins.
I mean, they needed a quarterback of some kind, so
And you took a bad one.
maybe.
Any
What-
team he's on,
what
he would
pick
not
was-
start on any other team.
What pick was Dwayne Haskins in the draft? Like what overall?
I can't remember. I thought he was 15th.
I guess my question is who was still on the board when he was picked? because
Let me go look at the
I want to
draft.
see that now.
It was the 2019 draft. Let me go look at the 2019 draft quarterback class.
But yes, Kyle Allen resurgence is back. Kyle Allen for MVP. I will raise the flag again.
All right, let's see. Other quarterbacks include. All right, let's see. Drew Lock, I believe, may have still been on the board. He might have been taken off already, though.
He wasn't.
You got Drew Lock. Let's see. Will Greer. Oh, Ryan Finley.
Will Greer's
Jarrett
terrible.
Stidham.
So
Tyree Jackson. Clayton Thorson. Gardner Minshew, but nobody expected that. So I mean, come on.
I'll get the rest. I'll give Washington a pass on that one.
Brett Rippon.
Good save, that. Good save, Jared.
Yeah, I can't say that no more.
Y'all could have traded up and gotten Josh Allen. Daniel Jones is a bad pick at 6. I'm still gonna live by that.
Wait, what do you say? You were talking about just players on the board in general.
Yeah, you could have traded up if you. But y'all must have been pretty content with Dwayne Haskins to let him wait.
It really just sounds like the only two good quarterbacks in that draft right now is Josh Allen and
Josh Allen
Gardner
wasn't
Minshew.
And Kyler Murray.
I'm sorry, not Josh Allen. Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
What are you talking?
Isn't that what you said?
No, it's Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Gardner Minshew. It's 3 of them.
Josh Allen was not in that draft class, Davis.
He's right here. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him.
That's defensive end, Josh.
Oh, that got me.
Look,
I forgot about that.
We've mixed him up before. Okay, it's okay.
Alex, you're defending Dwayne Haskins. Don't clap like you just won that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say what Davis was thinking. Even defensive end Josh Allen would be a better pick than Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, you know what? I do think that actually, because y'all so big about your defensive ends. Why didn't you pick him?
Because we already had enough of them.
Y'all could use more better than Dwayne Haskins. Just
Also,
get Kyle
why would
Allen.
we trade up if we had the 15th pick? And also, Davis, I think it's important to mention, regardless of what is happening now, was there anything that Dwayne Haskins did in college that made you think, nope, don't pick him at the 15th pick? Really?
I didn't really like him in college that much, personally.
I mean, what did Daniel Jones tell you that he deserved to be picked that high?
He was just a large dude with intelligence.
Wow, that's
So you just so
that sounds
Dwayne
familiar.
Haskins, all he had was that he's a large dude.
No, I said Daniel Jones and why the Giants. That's why the Giants.
No, I know, and I'm saying, so why did the Washington football team?
Yeah, see, catch yourself.
Why did they pick Dwayne Haskins, Alex? What did they see in him that he was the transcendent force that they wanted to put him as the face of their team?
Davis, I cannot handle you just misconstruing the entire thing. It was the 15th.
I'm asking you a question. Answer it.
It was the 15th pick in the draft, and they needed a quarterback. So they're like, okay, this guy played good at Ohio State. Let's give it a shot. And that's what they did. That's
They gave it a shot. I'll give them that.
It was not some, this is the savior of the franchise. They didn't trade up to get him. They stayed at their spot, waited for him, and if he was there, they were going to pick him. That's exactly what happened. Don't misconstrue.
Okay, so if he was just a desperation pick, why are you defending him so hard?
What?
Why are you defending him so hard then if he wasn't?
I'm not defending him. I'm just over this entire, all of a sudden, he's the worst thing on the planet, and cut it off.
So bad.
Like actual Josh Allen didn't throw 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 52% completion percentage in his first season with Buffalo.
But the thing is, you can bring up those stats that this player didn't play too good, but at least they showed that they could. They showed that they could. Dwayne Haskins has not shown us anything.
Did you watch Josh Allen his first year in Buffalo?
Yes, I did.
Are
he
you
had moments.
disrespecting probably second runner-up MVP odds Josh Allen?
Not. What he's doing right now is
he had moments. He had decent games. Dwayne Haskins, terrible.
Really?
He can't even complete a freaking pass.
Davis, that's just incorrect. But if you want to say it, go right ahead. I'll let you say stupid stuff. I don't really care. But, just know that it is incorrect. It is. It's simply
Why? Why is it incorrect?
The fact that you were like, Josh Allen showed it, but
he did. He's good now. Josh Allen was not Dwayne Haskins bad his rookie year.
He was.
Not really though.
Really. We sent Jack away. Look at what you did, Davis.
He's
tired of hearing your stupid stuff.
He's just
Davis,
taking it all in.
I'm just saying correct stuff. The fact that you can't accept it is on you. That's all. I mean, that's it. That's all it is, There ain't
Did
nothing.
you know that his rookie year, Josh Allen had 8 touchdowns rushing?
Yeah.
Granted, he had 8 fumbles, but 8 touchdowns is pretty good.
Look, I just want to point out, after Dwayne Haskins, his first 2 starts, he had a quarterback rating of over 120 in both of them. They were losses, but he did well. After
But those are
that,
checkdowns, Alex. Don't act like he's slinging it like Aaron Rodgers.
after that, he didn't break 80s until a game against Buffalo, which he lost to Josh Allen, where he went 15 for 22 for 144 yards and no touchdowns. Other than that, he's been in the 70s or below in each game since his first 2 games.
He's also had, as I can count, 4 different offensive coordinators, but that's beside the point.
I mean, that's fair, but that goes back to a team who's put together a system where the quarterback can't succeed.
No,
Okay,
I mean,
so
Josh
Alex,
Rosen's crying in a quarter right now because he knows.
Oh, no, Jared, I completely agree. It is on the franchise and the team. My thing is just, if at the end of the year there's no sign of improvement, yes, I'd be done. But 4 games into his second, not even full second year, really, with a limited offseason, with his 4th different offensive coordinator, I'm willing to just, be a little bit more patient with it rather than just immediately write him off. That's all that I'm trying to say.
if he showed me something, I would be too, but he looks terrible.
Well,
And also, think about it. So he's had 4 different offensive coordinators, and none of them really think he can throw it downfield, it seems like.
Well, it's just more like they're really ridiculously conservative player.
Or that they're like, this guy can't throw downfield, so let's just give him check downs.
Well, no, last year, Bill Callahan overruled the offensive coordinator and said, no, I don't want to throw the football down the field. I just want to run the football just because I'm correct. And then he got fired. So there's that.
What about your offensive coordinator now?
The current offensive coordinator, you can't throw the ball downfield because the offensive line only gives him 2 seconds to throw, which is the lowest in the league. You can't throw the ball downfield if you don't have time to actually let the route go downfield.
That's fair, but also when he does have those chances, he misses them anyway. So
Really?
Alex, I've watched the games. You even texted me a few times and went, okay, that was a bad throw. And those are more often. I've texted you once, that was a good throw. And you've texted me like 5 times, okay, that was a bad throw.
Interesting.
Just saying. I will die on the hill that he is not a good quarterback.
Jack, let's get your thoughts on Dwayne Haskins.
It's not good.
I think the numbers on the Washington football team's helmet should be white instead of yellow. It really doesn't look that good. Match for their jersey.
Would white look good on it though?
It looked like the Alabama helmets.
Yeah, I think they kind of back themselves into a corner because the numbers on the jerseys are yellow or white then yellow, so you can't really do that on a helmet. But Dwayne Haskins, while you guys were arguing, I was watching the highlights of the Ravens game. He does not throw downfield at all, and I think as much as that's a valuable skill in today's NFL, being able to connect on your screen passes, there's doesn't seem to be either he's on an extremely short leash and the football team is not trying to win this game, or Haskins just doesn't have the ability to make these plays. And he showed some promise in the red zone, being able to use his legs a little bit, but at this point it just seems like there's either he's not being given the tools in his tool belt for fear of injury, making things worse, the turnover issue. I don't think he committed a turnover in this Ravens game, but he didn't really put himself in a position to either because it was always just a wide open running back behind the line of scrimmage. So, but without downfield passing, that's not how you. Well, you might win this division, but it's not how you compete for a playoff spot in this current National Football League. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what record it's going to take to win the NFC East because I don't know. They're already in striking distance of that, it looks like.
Here's what I got to say. Last thing, Alex. Last thing.
A cool 5-11 could
honestly, yeah. 6-10 could win the division, and it very likely would. But what, last thing I can
take
say?
that back.
Depending on how Kyle Allen plays this weekend, as in, do they make him throw downfield? Because he's able to. I watched him play. He is not amazing at it, but he can make those throws better than Dwayne Haskins. But if they still stick to the screens, I will concede as the offensive coordinator, but I will not concede that Dwayne Haskins is a bum.
Part of the reason that I have dragged my feet with this is because I remember Alex Smith and other quarterbacks in this offense didn't look the same entirely, but it was a lot of just, the offensive line wasn't able to block, so it was a lot of short passes, a lot of short throws. And last week, again, I thought all the screen passes, but just the fact that if you tell your quarterback in 3 games he's on a short leash after a big turnover-ridden game, he's going to course correct way too much and just decide he's never going to want to risk a turnover. Because the critique is turnovers. So, all right, I won't turn the ball over, but then that leads to a lot of short passes. So that's why I'm just like, because at this point we're not going to win the division this year, no matter who's at quarterback. Because we just don't have enough talent. So at this point, I'm just like, look, give him the year. If we're garbage, we'll get Trevor Lawrence. If not, we'll get somebody. That's the point that I'm taking.
You forget the Panthers are getting Trevor Lawrence, even though they're going 14-2. So
you're not going 14-2.
Yeah,
innocent until proven guilty.
That's true. We're still on track, Alex. We're currently 2-2.
Yeah, but you'll go 13-3 when you lose to Washington for the 3rd straight year.
Oh my gosh! If Dwayne Haskins is starting, I'm not worried about it.
I mean,
let the record show Dwayne Haskins is not the reason we lost last year.
Let the record show Dwayne Haskins was starting though last year.
Yeah, but is he the reason we lost? Because I do recall it was Darius Geis.
Rest in peace to the Darius Geis running back dream.
What, is he still a free agent?
I have no idea.
He probably should be.
I mean, yeah, he should be, but man, he got hurt so many years and we were like, oh my gosh, he's going to be good, and then it's like, nope, that didn't work out great.
Look, I just want to point out that no matter what happens, it will go down that Kyle Allen had a better stint in Carolina in the beginning than Dwayne Haskins did when Kyle Allen won 5 of the first 6 games. And then you're into a buzzsaw, but we're not going to talk about that part because that destroys my stance.
I agree. I apologize for bogging down the show with all the Washington football talk. We can move on to something else like, Bill O'Brien or something.
Oh, yeah, Bill O'Brien got fired.
I mean,
Bill O'Brien got canned. There you go.
Speaking of bums, there's one for you.
Yeah. If we can all agree on one thing, Bill O'Brien's a bum.
Hold up. I'll say this.
Ooh, no.
Alex is doing it a bit, Bill O'Brien.
Alex, no. Alex, be quiet for a second.
Let me say it.
If you come on this show, and you defend Bill O'Brien, I will end it right now. I will end this show now.
He's not playing, Alex. He will do it.
I will kick you out of the show right now if you say you're defending Bill O'Brien.
Okay, look, I'm going to say what somebody else said, and I'm going to share with y'all and see what y'all think. Because it's something.
Well, you better name drop him because I want to know who said it.
It was, I think it was on ESPN. It was on First Takes.
Who said it? Who said it?
It was Max Kellerman, probably. But...
Boom.
Oh, wait, no. It was
he is a bum.
Okay, look.
It was who?
I think it was Dan Orlovsky instead, actually.
Oh,
I like Dan Orlovsky.
Even better.
I'm glad he's entered the take world.
Is everybody get my neck? No, but I agree, Jack. I like the guy, too, on ESPN. What he said is that I believe that Bill O'Brien, the GM, got Bill O'Brien, the head coach, fired.
They're the same person, Alex. It doesn't matter.
What?
They're the same person. It doesn't matter.
His point was the fact that when you look at the numbers and the simple facts of it all, Bill O'Brien is the second greatest, if not the greatest.
That's like going back to last year and being like, Weagle sports director Jared Dillard got Xtra Point host Jared Dillard fired. They're the same damn person, Alex. It doesn't matter who it is.
No, it's not, though. It really isn't.
Yes, it does. I'm the same person.
I understand the take.
I understand it. I don't like it.
Because in reality, he was a good coach for the Texans. The team was good, but then once he took
I won't go that far.
Yeah.
He did kind of choke the playoffs last year.
Okay, but
I'm not a lot of timeouts.
Okay, for Texans standards.
Well, in the past, 18 years of their existence?
Yeah, exactly.
He wins by default.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying though. Is that really considering the Texans' low standards, if he just kept being head coach and not traded away all of his good players because he was made the GM, he probably would still be around for a variety of reasons. But make no mistake, what he did as GM is awful and one of the worst GM jobs in history. I agree, but I'm just saying that was something I saw that I thought was interesting, and I kind of agreed with a bit because I think his ability as GM was so much worse.
Do not make any excuses for Bill O'Brien.
I'm not, because he was still awful as GM. I'm not saying, oh, it was his fault, everything that happened. It's just interesting to look
If
at like
anything, it makes it even worse because he knows his players the best.
That's true.
He got Deshaun Watson. He got DeAndre Hopkins. He has J.J. Watt. He's the guy who knows this team the best. And his decision was like, DeAndre Hopkins, second round pick. Good.
And
He
he
traded him.
Brock Osweiler.
Madden, CPUs don't even make that trade. And he did it. What was going through his mind?
Yeah, let me call security. Get this man out of my sight.
I mean, no, look.
Somebody went on to Madden and tried to do that same trade, and Madden said no.
Jared's really pulling the Madden reference. Like, what? You said it 3 times.
Because it's asinine how bad he was.
No,
I don't make that trade. I would be a better GM than Bill O'Brien. Why am I not the GM for the Texans?
Because you're yelling on a radio show right now.
I was say because you just let us yell about the Washington football team.
Me yelling on a radio show gets Deshaun Watson sacked how many times? None. That man's running for his damn life. And he ain't got no more Popeyes chicken biscuits out there to help him.
What in the world?
You don't get that reference. My point being is that me sitting here in Smith Station, Alabama has helped out more for the Texans than Bill O'Brien getting the keys to the damn franchise. That's it. Can you say that's not true?
I cannot say that's not true. I'm kind of
using a reference that Jack would say. We could throw tackle sleds in at offensive line for the Texans, and that would have been probably better than what Bill O'Brien had planned for that offensive line.
Oh, I agree.
And get this: the Texans are a divisional rival of the Colts, and I am still upset at this man because I've seen what negligent GMs do to teams. I lived through it. All right, Andrew Luck's not playing anymore because of bad GMs.
That's good point.
Andrew Luck had lacerated internal organs because of how bad the offensive line was. Because of incompetent GMs. I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. I like Deshaun Watson. But that man was going to be out of the league in about 5 years that it didn't fix anything. And I just think it's just poetic justice that Bill O'Brien's like, you know what? 0-4, I'm going to take over offensive play calling duties. And that was the key for the owner to be like, get the hell out my sight. That was the key.
He took him over before the game on Sunday, then went 0-4. Then it was
that makes it even better.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So how did Bill Belichick win Super Bowls with him and Matt Patricia? Because they are bummed.
I saw that meme. That meme was so funny, man. I mean, in reality, so I saw somebody say, well, Tom Brady controlled the offense and Bill Belichick did the defense. And I'm like, well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, they just stood there. They're like, good job, guys.
I mean, some people are truly great coordinators. Look at Romeo Crennel. Romeo Crennel has not been a good head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator.
He'll be better than whatever Bill O'Brien was.
No, he'll probably get the Texans a win this year than Bill O'Brien didn't. But I think there are people that are just good coordinators. I think that's just how it is. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, you've got to ask the question. Obviously you don't want a meddling owner, but what is the owner doing if he's not, monitoring this enough to hear the trade of DeAndre Hopkins and be like, nope, I veto. Do not make the trade. Because I saw that too, and I'm like, all right. If I'm in that position, I want to know about the trades that my team is making before they make them. Because if you're trading my most valuable asset for scraps, I mean.
No, say it, scrubs. If Bill O'Brien was still GM, that's probably what they would get anyway. He'd probably trade DeAndre Hopkins for a $2 steak if he could. That's pretty much what he's going to get.
Sean Watson.
Whatever.
He traded Hopkins.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, it's one of the worst GM jobs in recent history, and I mean it's going to go down for a long time just because of how chaotic and a mess it was. But I mean, the big concern for the Texans is really is the damage already done?
Well, yeah, you're not going to get DeAndre Hopkins back.
Hopkins ain't coming back, bro.
No. Yeah. I meant is there a way back for them to 10-6.
They've hit some lows, but not this season, I don't think.
But because they don't have any draft picks.
Yes, Alex. Yes, they don't.
guys,
They're stuck in the basement.
What I'm saying is like in reality, for what's left of the Texans, do they need to just blow the whole thing up completely and trade Deshaun Watson and start back?
No, you blow up everything but Deshaun Watson.
No, my point is that with Watson and with are they going to be able to really build a team in the time that they have him, or should they just start fresh?
Deshaun Watson's how old?
I would say 24 if I had to guess.
They have time.
Look, I'm just saying, without any first-round picks, they're going to be just as bad next year as they are this year.
That's why you blow it up now.
Maybe they can trade him to the Washington football team so they can have a decent quarterback on their roster.
Yeah, for the first time in how long? Or maybe he'll join the Washington quarterback graveyard.
But you know what they do to decent quarterbacks, right?
Yeah. RG3, eat your heart out.
Alex Smith.
Dwayne Haskins.
Whose fault was that?
He's on the football team. If he wasn't on the football team, he wouldn't have been there that day, and he would have gotten hurt that day. So, by proxy, it is your fault.
My fault?
As a football fan.
All I'm saying is the Texans...
You wanted them to get Alex Smith, so they signed Alex Smith, and then he got hurt on your watch.
All I'm saying is the Texans can easily blow it up without getting rid of Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Now,
they can trade David Johnson for a pick.
Will he stay for that rebuild? I have no idea.
They'll get Brock Osweiler back.
But he did just get that huge contract, so him not staying is, it's like...
well, they do have A.J. McCarron as backup, so, I mean, they're just primed and ready to go for a Super Bowl.
Look, they can blow it all up and keep only Deshaun Watson and, I assume, J.J. Watt if they blow it all up. Although J.J. Watt would get you a first-round pick.
They could trade J.J. Watt.
I don't know if he gets you a first-round pick.
You're going to lose half the fan base, right? But he'll get you a first-round pick if you want it that bad.
They already let Jadeveon Clowney go for nothing. So.
If you get a good GM can build a decent 8-8 team with your 3rd through 5th round picks.
If you get a decent coach, they could build an 8-8 team with this team that they have right now.
That's what good GMs do.
Watch Romeo Crennel go like 11-1, make the playoffs.
This team is not that terrible. Like looking at it on paper.
I mean, your best receivers are Kenny Stills and Will Fuller. So
I mean, like those are decent run down field, catch the ball receivers.
And they're better wide receivers than Washington will ever have. But my point being is that's
also not true. But
my point being is that the Texans. I mean, you can rebuild. It's not like it's going to take 8 to 10 years to rebuild. You can rebuild. They're in the same. They're honestly in the same boat as the Cowboys are, but the Cowboys have more loads talent. They're just hurt and incompetent at the same time.
Their defense is the worst on the planet.
Hurt and incompetent at the same time. I did say that.
I just want to, yeah.
Oh, no, I know how bad the Cowboys defense is. I watch it every week. You don't have to tell me how bad they are.
You do that to yourself.
Because
I do it, but that's to laugh.
Well, I do it because I have a shred of dignity and hope that the Cowboys will, I don't know, do something different. But
all right, here's since Carter's not here to have a conspiracy theory, I'm going to posit one.
Oh no.
AJ Hinch fired. Mike D'Antoni fired. Bill O'Brien fired. Is the reason that the Houston Cougars football team has not played a game this season so Dana Holgorsen can keep his job?
Is there a Houston curse?
No, that's what he was saying. Is that's the Houston Astros manager, the Rockets coach, and the Texans coach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
I mean,
and Houston plays Thursday, so God help them.
It's just all too convenient, I'd say.
I mean, you want to talk about blowing up a team. I mean, Holgorsen came in and took a good Houston team, went 1-4, and then literally sent Derek King to Miami. So, like,
packaged with a bow too.
I mean, you want to talk about a bad first, that's. I mean, what on earth? Like, I think that was something that somehow flew under the radar last year. The fact that he single-handedly destroyed the Houston Cougars.
I mean, what's a better hit job, Holgorsen with the Cougars or Bill O'Brien with the Texans? I mean, somebody hired somebody to dismantle those teams. And I don't know who it was.
Bill O'Brien made the team and then destroyed it. Like, Holgorsen comes in with all of his, 7-5 every year at West Virginia, give me $1 million. And it's like, okay. And then he just is like, all right, now I'm going to send our best player away, go 1-4, and then tank. Who are they tanking for? Draft picks?
Maybe
What?
oil money. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think that's something that like somehow flew under everybody's
Look,
radar.
I don't know why people thought Daniel Holgerson would make it at Houston anyway. He went 7-5, 8-4, maybe 9 wins at West Virginia. Whoop de doo, right? West Virginia is not like some. I mean, I guess you can appreciate how well he competed in the Big 12 with what probably is a team that doesn't get the best recruits, right? And that Houston was probably similar to that. You're in a big state, you probably don't get the best recruits because they all go to Texas and TCU and all that in Oklahoma. But did he think? Did I think he was gonna become the second coming or something?
I
Because
mean,
it
I
wasn't.
think it was a matter of, this is getting a Power Five coach, and we've seen, Power Five coaches with minimal success come from Group of Five schools where they dominated. Let's not forget Kevin Sumlin at Houston was spectacular. And same goes for the coach of Texas, who I cannot remember. What's his name?
Tom Herman.
Right, that was the name. I don't know how I
Herman.
blanked on that. But I mean, he was also great at Houston.
Horns down.
But I think, it was kind of that theory of if you're decent in the Big 12, you'll be great at, the American Conference.
Decent in the Big 12. The Big 12 is like
What's it like, Jared?
nothing.
What
I can
is it
say,
like,
no-
Jared?
nothing I can say on the show.
No, I mean, but Jared, what you said was a good point, though. I mean, West Virginia has never gotten the greatest recruits. 8-4 is their ceiling with the occasional, 10-2 season. That's
Texas
what it was.
A&M vibes.
No, I mean, yeah, it is. It very much is. And I mean, that's what the factor was. Is like, again, it's West Virginia. It's not. They're not in the deep South. They're just in kind of the middle of the pack for recruiting anyway. They're
Well,
sandwiched between
as
two regions
they're
that
not
are
in the
very
Deep South. Well, you would have fooled me with how much missing Titi find, but point being,
All our West Virginia listeners just turned off the stream.
oh great, all three of them, if they have internet to be quite
I mean-
honest.
I mean-
But let's talk about. I mean, the fact that the Big 12 is just a old West shootout where everybody's standing in a circle and everybody just gets shot. I mean,
Standoff.
you don't get to the top of the Big 12. You just survive enough to float to the top. That's all it is.
This year, yeah.
Ask Oklahoma, ask Texas. I mean, Iowa State is trying to win the Big 12 right now, and we
Hey.
know they don't get the recruits.
Yeah.
We know they don't. But, and this is not the same as the NFL, but a good coach in college football, a good GM, so to speak, can win with 2, 3, 4-star recruits.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I don't know. It's the Big 12 is personally to me has always been very confusing because of the fact that Texas is the best recruiting location in the country. I think, if it's not Louisiana, it's Texas. And the fact that they still just have seemingly incompetent players on defense for most of these teams is kind of alarming. But
I guess we should point out before we go any more deep into the rabbit hole is that the Raiders had a positive test as well. Maurice Hurst tested positive for COVID. So I can only assume that they're going to lock that down as quick as possible and hope that doesn't spread through Las Vegas. Which
what happens in Vegas hopefully stays in Vegas this time.
it's not.
The Raiders.
So that's 3 teams with positive tests so far. 2 of them, one's on the back end but still concerning. One of them monitoring and is concerning, and one of them, we'll see. We'll see what happens in Vegas. Is there anything else in the NFL that we just haven't gone over? Do we need to talk about Monday Night Football at all?
Man, the Falcons were bad.
Do
Also,
you expect anything less?
I mean, no, but did you guys see Rodgers' quote where he said most of his down years are career years for other quarterbacks? That's just the facts, bro.
I mean,
Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong. It's just,
talk
I
your
think
crap,
it's-
King. If you can back it up, go for it.
I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, he's completely correct. I just think it does point out a good fact that there are a few quarterbacks that are held to a higher standard in football than him, I would say. Because
Wayne
even
Haskins.
even when like remember when Peyton Manning had that year at the end of his career when he was like just not very good that year, but like nobody was like,
You mean Denver when he had
The
like
Brock
a noodle?
Osweiler year.
no, yeah, but like nobody was like, wow, he's awful. Like they were just like, okay, he's old, and Osweiler's going to take over. But like if Brady struggles or Rodgers struggles, it's everywhere. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like
Because
everyone,
Peyton Manning was the underdog for so long.
part of that is everyone wants to be the guy that says the dynasty's over and
That's
be
true.
right. It's just like it's very low hanging fruit.
That's
I
true.
mean, you can kind of just take stabs at the dark, say the dynasty's over, and hope you're right, because I don't know. People just want to be the one to break that. I mean, that's a take to have.
I agree. It's just like I think he does make a good point that
When you're on a pedestal, like I'd say, probably only 4 quarterbacks are Brady, Breeze, Rodgers. Throwing a 4th guy, but when you're on a pedestal like that, your storyline changes.
Yeah. Like for a long time, Manning wasn't the guy. He was second fiddle to Brady. So
That's
when he finally got up to that last stage, right, where you knew his career was ending, and he was playing the Super Bowl, you kind of wanted him to win because he couldn't win all those other times. He got the Super Bowl 3 times, got beat twice, only had the 2006 win. So you wanted him to go out on top. With Brady, God help if Brady gets back to the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers because people are just going to want him to lose.
Yeah.
That's just
Very good
what you
point.
get when you're Brady.
But I mean, even Rodgers, like, I mean, I think people have been trying to like say, "Oh, Rodgers is the problem with Green Bay," and like he's done because of how bad he's been with the Packers lately. And I'm just like, I mean, if you watch them and you see he's thrown it to Devontae Adams, and then his next guy's Alan Lazard, you're like, I don't know. Maybe it's the team he's got. Maybe.
I mean, there were some years where Aaron Rodgers couldn't play up to potential because of how bad the team around him was.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I ever met somebody who said Aaron Rodgers was the problem. I think people were just more like, why did they draft Jordan Love as the backup? But whatever.
That's a Packers move.
That is
They're looking for the next Aaron Rodgers, I guess. I don't know.
by just forcing out current Aaron Rodgers.
Not forcing out, but just lighting a fire. Just hey, he's here.
If that
You better watch
was their
yourself.
mission, it certainly worked because I mean he's playing out of his mind right now.
I think they just saw a good quarterback that they liked on the board, and they didn't see any holes they needed filled, and they just went for it.
It's fair.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Anything else in the NFL before we go to college football and end the show?
I can't think of anything.
Well, that was a hoop.
Thursday night game's gonna be good.
Thursday
it?
night, it's Bears, Bucks.
Bears Bucks.
Ooh.
Super Bowl 52 rematch. Nick Foles, Tom Brady.
Yeah, not the teams, Alex, the players.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Alex was like, when the Bears get over to the AFC?
Yeah, that I mean,
How'd you do that?
you said 42, and that was like near when the Bears actually made it. So I was like,
Yeah.
wait. But did you guys see the stat where since the Super Bowl, Nick Foles is like 0-4 as a starter, and Trubisky is like 4-1.
Yeah,
Sad.
but Trubisky's bad though.
Like there was some stat where like in recent games.
The last time Trubisky played the Bucks, he hung 38 on him and threw 6 touchdowns.
It's
Well-
different though.
Is it?
No,
Yes.
it's. I mean,
Is it though, Jared? Is it?
Yes.
I mean, he's not playing. Does that make it different?
Yes.
is that I think it's interesting because I think you had talked about high standard. Trubisky is held to a high standard himself, honestly, because he's a quarterback with a seemingly bad offensive coordinator based on what we've seen Matt Nagy do to Nick Foles. And, he wins games. He doesn't look great doing it, but they do win.
Well, no, Alex. Nick Foles was a 10 advisor, so he's better.
What?
Nick Foles was a 10 advisor. He's cooler. That's why he deserves a start.
Davis, somehow I don't agree with you.
Wow. I think Nick Foles is the better backup quarterback. You bring him in like halfway through the game, he's getting the dub.
Just
If you start him though, it's hit or miss.
Just have Trubisky play the first half, play awful just to bring Nick Foles in at random.
If there's something on the line, Nick Foles is winning it.
What's on the line in this one? Other than tricking him.
That's
into
why
it's the
he's
Super
not.
Bowl
If it
again.
was the playoffs, he'd win. If it was to get to the playoffs, he'd win. If it was
You know
a
what,
Super
David?
Bowl, he'd win. if he needs to come in and prove that he should be the starter and throw 3 touchdowns to come back against the Falcons, he'd win. Oh wait, he did win.
That. What the heck?
I wish I could say his nickname on air.
No.
I wish.
Look, point being that Thursday Night Football's going to be a lot of fun. Nick Foles and Trubisky on the bench. At least he's not on the practice squad, as another quarterback that we know is at this point.
He's not on the practice squad.
He might as well be.
Wait, I have a question for y'all.
He's in the cafeteria line.
I've heard this question. I've heard this take before. Is Nick Foles the clutchest or one of the clutchest quarterbacks
What?
In history?
Are we so in this category? Are we ignoring that Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers exists?
No, yeah, I'm not saying
because
he is
we
the
would
best.
have to.
Let's say
Dan
top
Marino.
5. Let's say top five.
Top five?
I'm not saying I agree with it. I've heard this take before.
Who said it? Who said it? So I can follow
I
charges.
can't remember, dude. It was like a year ago.
That's hilarious because I mean you've got
Was it somebody you saw on TV or somebody that you know?
I think it might have been both. I think so, they kind of
All
mentioned it
right.
on TV, and then we
Get
got
ready
into
to
a
roll.
debate about it.
I mean, off the top of my head, Montana, Rodgers, Brady, and Elway are like 4 already.
Which one of them came off the bench and led his team to the playoffs to win the Super Bowl?
Which one of them was an automatic starter and led us up to 4 Super Bowls?
I just want to say Nick Foles is kind of clutch, low key.
And I will say that even Andrew Luck is above Nick Foles because Andrew Luck manufactured how many fourth quarter comebacks in his career?
That's a good point.
That's true. That 38-3 against KC and the wild card.
That's a very good point.
So I don't want to hear about Nick Foles. All
Let me
right.
tell you something.
Like, don't get me wrong, Nick Foles is maybe top 50 all-time clutch quarterbacks.
Maybe top 50.
Top 50.
Wow.
I mean, really.
That's like half the quarterbacks that's ever played.
That's like us saying JaVale McGee the top 30 center in the NBA because he starts.
It's not like saying that.
It's not. I mean, no, but really, because you put guys like Terry Bradshaw. Like, Bradshaw was not a great quarterback. When it came down to the clutch for the Steelers, that man showed up every time. Johnny Unitas, you put on that list. I mean, if I really want to go in the list, I could get you at least 30 within the next day. And that's, not including underrated quarterbacks just had a bunch of comebacks like Andrew Luck,
Like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Like Matthew Stafford has had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, actually. Like, he had a bunch his rookie year and has had a bunch since. So, you could make that argument. So
Matt Ryan.
he's had a bunch of
Super Bowl and this
He's
year.
had a bunch of fourth quarter comebacks happen to him. It's like he just sits there and watches.
Speaking of curses, is there a Matt Ryan curse?
No,
Is
that's
that
just the Atlanta curse.
That's just a team in Georgia curse is what that is. I mean, in essence.
Braves fans, hold your breath because
Yeah. Wow.
If y'all break the curse, we're getting a part 2 of this year.
that is true. If
Hillman broke the Hillman curse, and if the Braves break the Atlanta curse, we're done. It's curtains for us. We're done.
you might want to go ahead and end me right there if that happens. All right, college football. I honestly don't know where to begin with college football. I don't know if you guys saw on Monday's show. I say saw. I mean everybody but Davis was there because he's a bum. But Davis, how's your car doing, by the way?
She's doing good now. She's doing good.
She purring?
She is purring. It was a battery issue. They replaced the battery.
That was it? A battery?
I thought it was a starter issue, so I couldn't just go get a new battery, so I had to get it towed. But it turned out to apparently just be the battery, but who knows? I'm still not entirely convinced.
But everybody else witnessed Jacob Hillman saying Kyle Trask will be in New York.
Oh.
And boy, I love it because obviously we don't have to go back to last year when I was touting a quarterback that nobody really believed in. So, benefit of the doubt, I'll give it to him. I'll see it. Yes, Alex.
I'm going to share this just because it was something that I did, but I want to look back on it because it's one of my worst moments ever. I remember you were talking about Joe Burrow after first week against Texas.
Yeah.
And I pulled out the Zach Mettenberger stats as a reason why Joe Burrow would not win the Heisman.
Yeah, Alex likes to pull up old stats to compensate for his bad takes.
Like,
No. It was because Joe Burrow in his first year had stats comparable to other LSU quarterbacks, namely Zach Mettenberger.
You know, and Dwayne Haskins has comparable stats to Josh Allen's rookie year, but one of them's significantly better than the other.
I even made a super cut of all the Joe Burrow talks that we had, and I made a video of it.
I need to see that.
I mean, I don't even know if I even have
Has
it.
Kyle Trask won co-offensive player of the week yet, though?
I don't
That's
know.
that's kind of a prereq.
I don't know.
Co-offensive player of the week, yeah.
Let me see if
He probably should have, right? Like, I would think he won it just because.
Okay, but so Alex,
for week one, definitely.
So Davis.
So you kind of like you scoffed at Jacob's take, but who else would win it at this point?
his tight end.
No.
Pitts is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have enough difficult competition, but the reason I don't think Trask is going to win it is because when they play Georgia, I think he's going to play awful. I really do. I think that Georgia defense is going to shut him
But
down.
until he does or doesn't,
Until he does.
still the favorite, right? I'd say he is the favorite right now.
It's that one the reason is I'm looking at, I'm not looking at, right now who would win it. Now I'm saying, at the end of the season, who's going to win it. And I really think against that, if a Heisman trophy, like remember Fournette every year until he runs into Bama, right? I think it would be the same thing. Trask will be great until he runs into Georgia, personally. That's what I think. Now, if he beats Georgia, I mean, more power to him, but that Jared screen sharing.
Oh no.
I am, because I found it.
10 minutes. You have 4 views, Jared.
Heck yeah. I mean, I don't sit here and put it out for everybody to see, but I do think it's important.
Be able to beat this LSU secondary.
Look at that. Look how young we were. Look, Aiden's there, Jack.
Hey, I can't see it.
I just see your extra point show rundown. You're like,
You can't see it? Oh, because I moved it. Oh, man.
because I was like, who are we looking at? Cold open in NBA Finals Game 4?
Hold up. I got this.
Hey, come on, pick 'em standings. Let's go.
Look at my pick'em standings.
Alex, I don't care about you.
What?
Me and Jack are tied for last in the MLB playoff gauntlet.
Ooh. That's
There.
tough.
Now you see it?
Wow. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And by that I mean just
I didn't know
a
AJ
year.
used to be on the crew.
But we come a long way in a calendar year, I believe.
We have come a long way.
Yeah, now we're all stuck at home.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
You're not
I see.
wrong.
I would want to pick Texas.
Jack,
but
isn't that when you used to have
LSU
long
got
hair?
the Defense.
Yeah,
Defense
we're in the same
championship is
hat.
how it is.
The more things
are.
change, the more things
What?
stay the same.
let's
Former
go.
and soon to be
Wow.
SEC Player of the Week, Joe Burrow.
Don't bring
at
that back.
quarterback.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back. Joe
It's a
Burrow.
little choppy,
I believe
Jared,
in
from
what
my
Joe
point
Burrow
of
Also,
view.
can't
is
hear anything
putting
you're
out
saying,
there.
Jared.
And I
Look,
think he.
there's
I
nothing
think he's a
I can
great
do about
quarterback.
that.
I would go on to
Okay, we'll
say
just I'll just
that
read
Joe
your lips.
Burrow, after this weekend,
said
will be a
Alex
top
is
3
stupid.
quarterback in
Oh,
the
wow.
SEC. I was
Wow, Davis, you're so
I was
funny.
ridiculed.
Better than your
Haskins.
Jared's
I was made
old
fun
joke.
of.
Where have you seen in this article that he is the number 1 quarterback off the board?
All
Jared,
right.
is there a reason? Are we just having a look
All
back?
I'm
Like, we're not
saying
hearing any
is-
of what
Oh,
they're
gosh,
saying.
I didn't like the way you said that.
All
I just
I'm
want you to
saying
know
this quarter
what
is
I
that by the
went through.
time this season
Okay.
ends,
Are
Joe
me and
Burrow
Alex
is
there
gonna be
for
one of
any
the
of them?
best prospects in the
Well,
NFL
Look
draft.
at that right
And he
there. The
should be
Eagles
go-
beat the
Did you let me finish?
Washington football team.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I think.
remember that game.
And he should be drafted
That
number
game was so
general.
depressing.
I'll just
You
skip
are-
through
you
it
are
right quick.
basing
Let's
this-
see.
We weren't there.
That's a step
Because
up
by
in
the time we
play,
got to the
game
extra
of their
point-
Oh
lives.
yeah,
Hey, look,
Bookie
there's her.
Jared.
Offense,
Sports
scary
bookie.
good. And I think they may expose Alabama secondary.
Wait, no, that's not-
Alabama secondary.
No,
got some
that's
cracks
just
in it.
T-Pain, Jared.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's a different Jared.
Jared, where are those glasses at?
I'm wearing
Uh,
that same
that, hey,
sweatshirt.
I know
don't
you got
know.
a good rush defense. We
Jack
have a
has the
Heisman
same wardrobe
Trophy
for every
winner.
extra point show. He just shifts it around a bit.
There's Bay and Javon. I think this is War Games.
I think every piece of clothing I own has been cataloged on one extra point or another.
Controlling Oklahoma.
Man, I can't wait for War Games.
I hated War Games
What?
because I lost.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think the final clip was I don't even remember what the final clip was. Oh, yeah, it's when after break when Carter came back and it looked like he went to Afghanistan.
He looks kind of broken right there.
He was. He
What
sat
on
through a
earth
whole.
is
He
Carter?
sat through a whole semester of me saying Joe Burrow's the best quarterback, and then he had to relive the national championship again. Good stuff.
Y'all broke Carter and sent him to Northwestern. My goodness.
Yeah, we did. That's how you do it. That's the extra point lifestyle for you. But Kyle Trask, Heisman.
I don't think that's that bad of a take.
Look, I just okay. I'm trying to think of who else is an available option right now, which is why I'm having a problem.
Did y'all
'Cause,
forget
like,
about Trevor Lawrence existing or something like that?
No, yeah, but he has such low competition. It's like, like if he drops 5 touchdowns on
Chuba.
Yeah, if he destroys Florida State, it's a big deal.
Okay, so if Oklahoma State wins the Big 12, I think Chuba is a candidate.
I mean, there's Trevor Lawrence. There's Chuba. I got to assume another SEC player in the running somewhere.
15th year senior Ian Book candidate. I'm kidding. No way. But
Ellinger? I'm just kidding.
Get that out of my face. Somebody else.
Mac Jones.
I mean, probably he'll be up there somewhere.
He's got an ability to put up the numbers. He's got the offense. He will play a great defense this year, except Georgia. So that could be the difference maker between the two.
I will say one thing that's happening at SEC is that LSU's home game is being moved because of Hurricane Delta. They're gonna go play. They're gonna go play in Missouri because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Also going on in college football is that we're getting to see the lines kind of flatten out a little bit. Auburn is still a 2-touchdown favorite against Arkansas,
as they should be.
I know that some people, especially Auburn Twitter, which I try to avoid like the plague, let's be honest, any fan base on Twitter is probably pretty bad. I'm going to be pretty honest with you.
Can I make a hot take about an Auburn Twitter page? Actually, no, I'm not.
Go ahead.
You can't just throw that out there and then just retract it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Bo Nix Colonel, like
Captain Bo Nix.
I hate that page.
Davis, don't worry because I think
so stupid.
No one likes it.
Funny.
Yeah, nobody likes it.
Alex does. He always talks about how funny it is, and I'm reading like Alex is just so dumb.
Alex, you're a clown, bro.
Maybe it was funny the first 2 times, but with every single time he does something, they make another stupid letter.
I mean, that's the gimmick is that it's stupid, Davis. Like it's not.
No, you can't change it. You can't go, no, yeah, I know it's stupid.
No, but Davis, that is in fact the gimmick. That's why it's funny because it's just ridiculous and stupid. That is it. It's not like.
But it's not funny. The gimmick of it being ridiculous to make it funny isn't funny. It's just dumb.
I mean, I find it funny.
It's dumb.
You and boomers find it funny. That's it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The way I found out was from my 57-year-old dad. So
it's you look at the comments on it, it's either old people being like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm going to send it to my son," or people our age like, "This is so dumb. Stop making these."
I know Jared doesn't like it just because it's a spoof of the Andrew Luck one from like 2013. So
it's true. That's
Jared,
the
was that one
original.
funny?
You leave it at that. It was
that one
original.
funny?
It was original at the time, and everybody liked it.
The joke was that Andrew Luck's beard looked like Abraham Lincoln. But
yeah,
like
that was the whole bit.
It's Bo Nix. He looks like he's 9 and covered in acne. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Did they have acne in the 1800s?
What?
I think if you had acne, you died.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen a person with acne from the 1800s, Alex? Tell me that.
I mean, that's some Oregon Trail type stuff. I don't know. You got to play the game. to
You
find
died
out.
from acne.
Probably. I mean, look. Either the acne or typhoid or whatever.
Oh my
typhoid
God.
fever.
Typhoid.
Yeah, that's the 2 they had back then.
Or malaria.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Oh, there's another one.
Or malaria. Oh, yeah, a bullet. And died at the ripe old age of 29. I don't know. Things were rough back then.
Wow, that was good.
No, but David, you have a great point. That Twitter account, I hate it.
So
Man.
dumb.
It's dumb.
All right, y'all.
Just find a different player that can match that has like a long beard. You know what I'm saying? Like
Patrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick would be perfect for it.
That would be a decent one, but it still wouldn't be funny.
Yeah, he went to Harvard. That's like different. He's smart. Yeah, so like, But this weekend, just know that tomorrow we are picking Kansas State TCU, number 2 Alabama at Ole Miss. Jack, last time I heard, they're still carrying that goalpost around. Mississippi State versus Kentucky. Texas Tech going to Ames, Iowa, which we don't have to talk about. Number 19, Virginia Tech, and number 8, North Carolina. Actually, I don't even know if these numbers are correct because I updated them when I was not in the right place on mine. There's no way Texas is number 8. Texas against Oklahoma. Tennessee versus Georgia. Florida versus A&M. Arkansas versus Auburn. And the extra point game of the week, Miami versus Clemson. Which is Clemson's still a 14-point favorite against Miami.
It's just because like no one believes Miami can win a big game. Really,
Hey, Alex, your Rhett Lashley, the turnaround for Miami quote is gonna get put to the test right here.
I mean,
they don't have to win. They just got to play good.
I mean, yeah. Well, okay, the offense has to play good. If the defense lets Trevor Lawrence score 70, that's not on Red Lashley. So
It's not.
I mean,
I'll still blame them though.
like
Texas is 22. There it is.
if it's like 42-28, I think that's a good performance for the offense.
Wait, what's the score?
42-28. Like I think that's first year as the offensive coordinator. That's what against Clemson, the team that always has a very good defense. Yeah, I think
I got to see the numbers first.
okay, that's fair because you don't know where the points come from. That's fair.
What are we looking forward to in college football this weekend? Other than, I don't know if we're looking forward to Auburn, but yeah.
Have I ever looked forward to Auburn football? Just kidding.
Davis, what you laughing about?
I'm on the Captain Bo Nix page reading the comments, and there was an older lady said, really, this was cute at first, but after last night's performance is getting old. You need to work on winning games and instead of coming up with your next tweet. So she thinks Bo Nix actually runs the
Oh my.
That's just
Sorry
sad.
to throw us off the rails. I just wanted to read some of the comments.
I'm excited for the Tennessee Georgia game.
Yeah.
First of all, let's get a barometer on how good Georgia actually is. Also, I'm interested to see how Mississippi State bounces back against Kentucky because after that, they looked like world beaters after that LSU game, and then could barely hang 2 touchdowns on Arkansas with Costello throwing 3 interceptions. And then the Kentucky defense that Auburn played was pretty stout. So I don't know. Mississippi State went from on top of the world to potentially falling to 1-2 here in a tough road game in Kentucky.
And to be fair, that's what you give a Mike Leach at
I was gonna say that's very much the Mike Leach formula. It's just.
And then lastly, a game that is inexplicably at noon, the Florida A&M game in a Jimbo Fisher homecoming.
I thought we were talking about the Red River Shootout, but okay.
I'm not really concerned with any other conference at present, so.
But the Red River Shootout is always so much fun. But you're gonna need Coach Johnson on the call. Come on.
I'd only watch because of Gus, but nothing else.
I mean, that's part of the reason I watch it. So.
I mean, Gus Johnson has such a beautiful voice that I'd listen to him commentate anything. It could be paint drying on a wall, and I listen to it.
That's what I mean, I think that what was I gonna say? Oh, I had it. First of all, everyone says the Florida A&M game. I think they're talking about Florida A&M, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is this on our radar? It takes me a second. I don't know why.
Also a big weekend for the ACC because you not only have Miami Clemson, where we figure out how good Miami actually is, or if they're overhyped in the polls, which I think we all know the answer to that. You have Florida State Notre Dame, which is a night game because terrible.
It's good. Well, it's because it's NBC run, so NBC's gonna
right. It's under the lights in South Bend.
Yeah.
So, and then you have what I think is one of the most intriguing matchups of the weekend is Virginia Tech UNC, where we're gonna find out hopefully who the number 2 is in the ACC.
UNC are pretenders, bro.
After,
know.
After Miami's gonna get pants this weekend.
Jack, I'm afraid that UNC game will not show us anything because Virginia Tech is without like half their players. They're still missing like 15 guys.
Yeah, and you know what? They'll probably still beat UNC.
Yeah,
I said it. Yeah, I said it.
I just think that like really it.
They
Sadly,
almost lost to Boston College.
who?
UNC.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
Boston College is good, bro. They beat Duke.
that's a hot take.
Regardless, this is going to be. There's a lot of ranked versus ranked matchups this weekend, so we'll see what transpires in the top 25. And let's see how many weeks out are we from the Big Ten joining the party?
Like 2. If
Yeah,
we're going
like
from Saturday on, I think it's like 2 weeks, right?
I thought it was they were doing it like October 24th.
I got an Illinois Wisconsin game on the 24th of October, so 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks out from the Big Ten crashing the party, so we'll see.
And hopefully they don't crash and burn on the way in, because that'd be kind of sad to watch.
That'd be awkward.
I will say, a game that I'm looking forward to. Actually, never mind. No, I'm not. I think it's next week, actually. Yeah, it is next week. I'll hold off until... No, it's 2 weeks from now. October 24th. When Iowa State plays Oklahoma.
Oh, my.
Yeah. They play Texas Tech this week. But, that's a battle for the top of the Big 12.
Iowa State plays who?
Oklahoma State.
Oh,
I probably left off State when I said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, well, they're back at it again. Spencer Rattler wants a rematch.
I'm back.
So, we'll see what happens.
That's also the day of the Alabama-Tennessee game.
Ooh.
We'll see if Garantano can call his own number and bring it back.
He can call his own number from the ER and ask someone to come pick him up when Alabama's done with him.
That's also the home of my favorite game of the year in and year out, the Syracuse-Clemson game.
But, okay, quick question before we got to go. Is there any worse rivalry in football in the last 10 years than Tennessee-Alabama?
No. I mean, yes.
Wait, you mean worse like to watch or worse in that it's so lopsided?
I mean, I think both apply. The fact that you don't want to watch it because it's so lopsided.
I think there have been some decent enough close games. It's not like the freaking USC Notre Dame or all the old head rivalries like the game. The game had that one overtime game in 2015 and hasn't been intriguing for the past 10 years.
Who is Vanderbilt's rivals? And I'll answer that question.
Well, this is like historic rivalry.
Historic? Ohio State Michigan's weird.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the game is like barely a game ever.
Okay, but guys, hold up one second. Let me just.
It's historic, but Ohio State's been whooping lately, so.
Okay, actually, I forgot that Alabama Tennessee was 19-14 in 2015. I forgot about that one.
Right. I mean, there have been some last year Tennessee had a chance to take the lead, and there was a 14-point swing.
Is Georgia Tech considered historic?
That's a bitter rivalry.
Yeah,
then that's lopsided.
I would. He said in the past 10 years, and I think 2014 was one of the greatest games ever played, and Tech won that one.
Yeah, I remember that game. That was a very, very good game.
That's when Harrison Butker hit a 50-yard field goal to send it to overtime.
Yep. It's tough. It's tough to say because, like, okay, I mean, I'm looking at Ohio State, Michigan now because I just want to get a just like a rundown on the results and remember what it's been like lately. I mean, there was that overtime game. 2017 was 31-20, 42-41 in 2013. I mean, those games have been closer and better than Tennessee, Alabama. I think it's fun to make fun of Michigan, and we as Southerners want to, pretend that it's not as important because a lot of people up north treat it as if it's the greatest game on the planet.
I'm not pretending.
No, I mean,
I'd rather watch Rocky Block on repeat than any Big Ten game.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, do we need to go back to the Iowa-Michigan drive summary, or we're going to leave that in the past?
What?
You don't know. You don't know the pain that we went through last year.
I mean,
I want you to go back to Iowa-Michigan's drive summary from last year, and I want you to read it.
Oh, wait. I think I know what game you're talking about.
And then we'll end the show right there after you read it. And I want you to understand why I also do not like Big Ten games.
Oh, low scoring, I see.
No, read the drive summary. Read it.
Game summary.
Drive summary.
Where would I find it?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I'm trying to end the show here.
Man.
My Walmart grocery order is ready. I need to go pick it up.
I'm serious though. Like, is it just on the ESPN.com?
It's on the Gamecast, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I knew I was going to the right place. All right, drive summary.
Drive summaries. Just read the end result for each one of them. In order.
Punt, fumble, field goal, punt, touchdown, fumble, interception, interception, punt, field goal, punt, 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 interception, downs, interception, punt, 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 missed field goal, punt, 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 end of fourth quarter.
It's like Carter's reading it to me again.
It just
That was
means
amazing.
more.
It just means more.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. Wow.
So there's a reason why. Obviously, I'll take SEC first because SEC is where we are. It's where best college football is played. Pac-12, man, those are fun to watch at night.
Hold up.
Big 12, those are fun to watch at night.
Hold up.
What?
You're going to sit on your high horse like the game of the century for the SEC was not a 6-9 performance.
First of all, nice. Second of all, what are you talking about?
No, I mean, like, you're going to sit like, oh, that's an awful game, as if for an entire year, everyone was talking like the LSU 6-9 Alabama game in 2011 was the greatest game on the planet.
No, that game was trash too. And I'll tell you that firsthand. That game was trash.
Just wanted to make sure because a lot of SEC fans think that game is great and still hate the Big Ten. That's why I want to check.
If you love defense, that game is great.
That game had two touchdowns intercepted at the goal line.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
I just want to do my due diligence. That's all. I just want to check. Go right ahead, though.
But we all know that Alabama-Georgia National Championship beats any game that you can give me in the Big Ten.
I mean, Jared, that's just not true, but like, okay.
Name me a game that had higher stakes and higher value than that national championship between Alabama and
if you
Georgia.
want to go stakes, yeah, I'm talking game to game.
I'm talking about greatest games ever played. ESPN Classic score when you get it on NCAA 14. You just completed the ESPN Classic. Alabama, Georgia is up there, national championship.
Let me give you an example. When you're factoring stakes, 2017's Iron Bowl had bigger stakes than 2019's Iron Bowl, but 2019's Iron Bowl is probably a better back and forth game than 2017.
I enjoyed both, but
I mean, yeah, no, I did too. But like, when like I'm talking like, you know, rewatchability. The 2019 game is crazy.
Sure.
But it has no stakes comparatively to, you know, beating Georgia the week before and now having to face number one again. All that nonsense. SEC championship berth on the line, stuff like that. Like, if you factor
Can you find me a Big Ten game that had the same high stakes, high reward implications as that Alabama-Georgia national championship? That has the same replayability.
Let me see. You've got the Ohio State-Michigan overtime game from a few years ago. Just off the top of my head. That game, Michigan's 2, Ohio State's 3. Double overtime game. I mean, what else you want?
A better game.
All right. Look, it's fine. I mean, I'm just here to keep everybody in check at least somehow.
Alex, why do you die in the weirdest hills?
What?
Why do you die in the weirdest hills?
I'm dying the weirdest hills.
You died on the Dwayne Haskins hill earlier.
Oh,
so
that's
yeah,
why.
you did.
Dwayne Haskins is from Ohio State.
There it is.
I wish I actually had an actual
circle.
Don't. I'm just, you know.
Look,
I'm just
it's
weird.
time to go. My Walmart order is ready.
What are you getting?
What I
What'd you
get?
get?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like $170 worth of stuff. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
Whoa! Dropping the bag, Jared.
You're gonna be eating for a month.
That's not dropping the bag. That's regular like month of groceries.
That is kind of
I know.
100 to 200s in that range.
I know.
I know you guys are college students, but golly,
I haven't bought groceries one time since I got here, so
What?
it's because
Where's
the
the
prison
direction?
guards give them food, Davis. We
Oh,
already
you're
know
right.
this.
You're right. I forgot what it means to be a free man out of prison. So
being Gitmo, yeah, it's fun times, everybody.
All right. Well, that does it for Extra Point on today's show. We started with the Seattle Storm winning the WNBA Finals, and by the time we got to the NFL, it kind of just fell apart. But that's just the style that you live, I guess. Live and die by the Extra Point. So, it is for the show today. Alex, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. I'm sorry about Dwayne Haskins. I wish it ended better for him. But
As do
you
I.
have Kyle Allen. Excuse me, Davis, don't eat your microphone again. What do you want?
I said bum, just to emphasize that.
He is a bum. I will say
He's a
that.
bum.
He's a bum. Davis,
you.
yes, Alex, you were going to say something?
I just said thank you.
Davis, thank you for joining me on the show as well. Continue to play that game. Go ahead
I'm
and get
playing
you a dub.
anything. It's off.
Okay,
Yeah,
whatever you say. And Jack, thank you for joining us on the show as well. Go Bravos. Go ahead and go 2-0 on the series and make
Bravo.
the state Braves.
Yeah.
And make the state of Georgia proud. So, that's it for Extra Point today. Remember that you can catch highlights of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you may be able to get it, as well as the YouTube video version. That will be live at 3:45 Central, 4:45 Eastern. For Alex Houston, Davis Carroll, and Jack Hart, I'm Jared Doe saying thank you for joining us on Extra Point on WEGL 91.1 FM and WEGLFM.com.